Hello, it's Nina. Welcome. Have you ever wanted something so badly? A relationship to work, a project to succeed, a person to change, so that the sheer intensity of your wanting actually made you feel worse? You're not weak. According to neuroscience, your brain is literally fighting itself. Let's have a look that today I have some assistants who will help me also to show you how art therapy works from the point of view of neuroscience. So, when you desperately want a specific outcome, your prefrontal cortex, that part of the brain which is responsible for the planning and that logical part of brain, tries to force a result. But when the outcome is uncertain or outside your control, then comes the amygdala, that fear center, which is responsible for sending those signals of alert that there is a threat. No, and when you cannot control the outcome, amygdala considers that like interprets that uncertainty of the outcome as a threat. And what happens? So it's all the time you're stressing yourself like, yeah, I cannot control the outcome, but I'm doing my best, and I'm stressing myself. And the levels of that stress responsible hormone cortisol is going up. And meanwhile, amygdala considers that there is a threat, that our expectations aren't fulfilled, and I need to send those signals, and we need to do something. No, that like this, like at some point, those unregulated signals from the amygdala lead to excessive anxiety. Meaning that the brain, it's like really confusing those signals, and at some point that the brain can no longer tell the difference between a real physical threat and that unmet expectation. So you literally go into that fight or flight mode because your hope isn't manifesting. And this creates actually that, like, generally this illusion of control is actually a neurological trap, so that you're entering into that loop, no? And this loop actually spikes your cortisol levels, so that you all the time starting to feel more stressed, that you cannot get that outcome which you long for, and that it's like auto-stressing all the time, and it's really, really exhausted. And you know that when you are acting out of this state, in fact, everything goes wrong, and you do not reach any of what you have been expected. What happens, and what I offer you to do today is that then art therapy comes, and art therapy helps you to shift from that goal-oriented process, switch it to the sensory process. Actually, art therapy offers a biological hack to bypass that kind of neurological trap, no? That loop of thoughts which are like stressing you with all those unfulfilled expectations. Instead of fighting for a result, we shift the brain's focus to their to the kinesthetic, that sensory level. So that focusing only on the physical action of your hands, and not on what the final product will look like. And by moving, just generally by moving your hands without goal, you physically activate those motor systems which drains that anxiety, anxious energy out of the amygdala and bring you back to the present moment. Yeah. So in fact, I invite you now to grab some of those materials, which would be which you can press. It could be colored pencils, some pastels, oil pastels, or soft pastels, and also even it could be some pens, but take them of different colors. And what we are going to do today is just a really quick art practice experience to show you how in this way you can teach your brain to let situations evolve on their own while doing only what depends on you. So prepare materials, and I will leave here this one for inspiration. I really like this guy. Yep. And I have here this is actually my visual emotional diary. So I will use this one. And let's start. So think about that situation. Just pick up one situation which you're really desperate about, and you don't know how it will be solved. And this brings you at some point this kind of anxious state, that uncertainty which makes you desperate. And pick up some color. And now use your like normal hand, dominant hand, which you use to use. And your task will be to close your eyes and during 30 seconds, pressing it really hard to express by different, it's not like brush strokes, but gestural, no, by gestures, just to express that your expectations related to this your situation, and that tension, that pressure, which is the weight of that pressure which you have. 30 seconds, close your eyes. Inhale, exhale deeply, and let's do it. Trust your hand and do not control. Just trust, and that it will connect and will express. Press as hard as you wish in order to let go out that tension, that energy which is like quite thick and heavy weighted. Okay. I'm not sure whether it has passed 30 seconds because I'm here with closed eyes, but I feel like just connect with that situation. And listen to yourself whether you would like to add something else. If no, then open your eyes slowly and do not judge. Just look and notice and observe. Observe what has appeared here. you don't need to interpret it. No, just have a look. How do you feel about this? You can touch, because also, like, if you have used some kind of materials which have texture, so that you can also touch. This really express something outside helps you to, like, to make what your inner state, emotional state, like, to make create that distance. And now it's not something abstract. You can see something physical object, and for you now it's easier to get into that position of observing self in the brain. No, and also this activates medial prefrontal cortex, uh, and this actually like literally puts the brakes on the emotional amygdala. And you know also that very common spiritual practice is to have this observing self attitude in each and every situation which you get into. And this actually helps to train this state of observing self. So this is already not inside, like within your brain, but it's already externalized, and you have already this certain distance, and you can look at this state, at your expectations, and all those words are related with them from a certain distance. And it's much easier to observe, to have this, like, just notice but do not judge. Yeah. And now we will add one more part, that is bilateral integration. This will force the hemispheres of the brain to communicate, integrating that emotional right brain with the logical left brain. I would ask you now to pick up another color, and we will add some more just like traces or some more elements which you feel like using your non-dominant hand. Yeah, so that now we will activate another hemisphere. And actually, we aren't going to fix the picture, but we are going where we feel just there to add another color. And it's like the feeling is that you are responding. You're responding to this state. And in fact, this trains your brain to experience situation where you respond rather than control. So you cannot control the outcome. The situation is the way it is, but you can make those actions which are within your power, so that which depend on you, and the rest you just let go. You cannot control, but you're doing only what depends on you. You are not passive. No, it's like you are doing, but those things which are within your area and what you can do. But those ones which are external ones, like in this case this paper, no, you just let them evolve however they want. Let's add, shouldn't be a lot, but just in several areas the way you feel, and use your non-dominant hand. That should feel quite curious, this part of the practice. And generally, I would highly appreciate if you have done this practice. Please share in the comments about your state, your experience, and how you have been feeling. Have you noticed the difference before and after, how it has been for you? And yeah, I think that in my case, probably it's like I really want to fill it with yellow. And I really like, you know what I really like? First, I have noticed that I wanted to switch the hand, but no. And what I have noticed is that it's really curious at some point. First, I have been covering, filling those gaps, white gaps. But then I started to interact, to respond to those lines which have been there. And it has created another color. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, that is really amazing feeling, no? That you start already to interact, to respond to it. And what else happens in those moments is that you also gain this flow state when you actually let go that rigid destination. And exactly when you are in that flow state, it helps you to release dopamine, that hormones are responsible for that happy, satisfying state, emotional state. And it also reduces that stress responsible hormone of cortisol. And actually, you aren't giving up on your hopes. You are giving your nervous system a rest from that tyranny of the to control the outcome. And also, you by this practice, you are proving that you can be safe without having to control the future. And this is really huge inner shift. Let me know how it has been this art practice for you in the comments. And I remind you that if you need that quick stress release, emotional release, I have a free emotional reset session, which is free, and you can find the link in the description. It will help you to find that calm state quite quickly, and then you can do your actions to act and to take decisions out of that calm state, and not when you are feeling quite stressed. Also check my website, where I have other courses and programs which will help you to connect better with your inner voice, and to listen it and to be guided in your daily life. Sending you lots of love, and see you in my next video.